So the next step in rational expressions is adding and subtracting. So the first question we need to think about is, what do we have to do? What's our first step? So don't think about with variables. Go back to 5th and 6th grade math with fractions. Go to add fractions. Your first step is to find a common denominator. So that's what we're going to do with rational expressions. So looking at the first example, what's the common denominator between 3 and 2? And the answer is 6. So 3 times what gives me 6? The answer is 2, so we need to multiply this side by 2. 2 times what is 6? 3, so this side needs to be multiplied by 3. So we have 2 times a and 3a times 3, and we can combine like terms and get 11a over 6. So that one was fairly simple. Let's do one a little bit trickier. X minus 4, 4 minus x. So we could say that we need both of those to be the common denominator, but remember that these are additive inverses. So the only difference between the two is one is being multiplied, well, both of them are being multiplied by a -1, but if we distribute it, they would simplify to just -1. So let's choose x minus 4 as my common denominator. So what does this side need? Nothing, because the denominators match. What does this side need? What do I have to do to this denominator to get this? Multiply by a -1. So here we have 2x minus a -8, so plus 8. And then continue to simplify. Factor out a 2. Okay, and as you can see here, nothing cancels, so you're done with this. Next one, common denominator. Now before we start, let's factor this denominator, x minus 3, x plus 3. So remember, with a common denominator, you need everything. Just like here when we did the 2 and the 3, we needed the least common multiple of both of these. So the least common multiple of these, this and this, we need everything. So we need an x minus 3. Okay, so that takes care of this part. Coming over here, we need an x minus 3, but we already have it, so we don't need it twice. We also need an x plus 3. So that's our least common denominator. So what does this side need? Well, this side has an x minus 3, so it needs an x plus 3. What does this side need? It has everything, so it doesn't need anything. So in the top, we had an x. We need to multiply it, x plus 3 minus 18. Next step, simplify the numerator. We're going to distribute the x and then combine any like terms. So I just distributed the x times x, the x times 3 to get this. We don't have any like terms in the numerator, but it is a quadratic, so we can see if it reverse FOILs. So we need two numbers multiplied, give me negative 18. Added, give me positive 3. So 6 and 3. So we need one positive and one negative. We need this middle term to be positive, so the 6 has to be bigger. And then we can continue canceling. So this, so we get x plus 6 over x plus 3. Flip to the next page. Okay, again, common denominator. First thing we're going to do is factor our denominators to see what we need. So this factors to x plus 2, x plus 1. This factors to x minus 1, x plus 1. So pause the video for a moment and see if you can figure out, write down your common denominator, and then come back and see if you agree with mine. Okay, so to get the least common denominator, we need everything. We need an x plus 2. We need an x plus 1. We need an x minus 1. We need an x plus 1, but we already have it, so we don't need it twice. So that is what you should have gotten for the least common denominator. Once you're okay with that, pause the video again and adjust the numerators based on our least common denominators. See if you can get the numerator. Okay, so what you're doing is you're comparing the denominator here to this here. What does this have that this doesn't? An x minus 1. So we have to multiply these both by x minus 1. We already did it in the denominator. So in the numerator we need x minus 1. Come to this part. You have x minus 1, x plus 1. What's it missing? An x plus 2. So over here, x minus 1 times 1 plus 2 times x plus 2. Here there's nothing to simplify, but here we need to distribute the 2. So in the numerator we have x minus 1 plus 2x plus 4. Denominator still the same. Simplify the numerator. 2x and x, 3x. Negative 1 and 4. Denominator the same. What can you factor out of the numerator? A 3. So now the x plus 1s can cancel. We get a 3 over x plus 2, x minus 1. Ooh, plus. So that might have been a little quick. Just go back and look at your steps. Common denominator, adjust the numerators, simplify the numerator, factor if possible, cancel where you can, simplify. So the last two, I'm going to have you pause the video, try the next one, come back and see if you agree with my answer. Okay, common denominator. So we first had to reverse FOIL the denominators. We need an x plus 6, an x plus 3, an x. We don't need to repeat the x plus 3. This side is missing an x. This side is missing an x plus 6. So if you didn't get this far on your own, stop again, pause the video, and see if you can finish it by yourself. Okay, here's a common mistake, so pay attention to this. We're multiplying this side by x, that's fine. We're multiplying this side x plus 6. Notice that we're subtracting. Right? Big deal. Because we have a negative 3 times an x plus 6. When you distribute, you have to carry the negative through. So we have x squared minus 3x minus 18. So if you're someone that's you think you might make that mistake, change this to a plus and make it a negative 3 so that you see you have to carry the negative 3 through. Reverse FOIL the top. Simplify what you can with the bottom. X plus 3's cancel. The x minus 6 and the x plus 6 do not cancel. They're not the same things, and they are not additive inverses. So you just get x minus 6 over x plus 6. Pause the video again. Try the last one. Remember what your denominator is. If there's no denominator, you have a denominator of 1. Okay, so we have 1 in our denominator, so we have to multiply this by r and this by r. We get r squared plus 2r. This did not need anything, so just plus 3. Now we can talk about whether this can reverse FOIL or not, but we know no matter what, it can't cancel with anything in the bottom. We're not going to have an r, so there's no need to look at this any further. Of course, it doesn't reverse FOIL, but even if it did, it wouldn't be significant right here because nothing else cancels. Okay, that's it for now. I will see you in class, and before we go, we have the joke for today, so see if you know the answer. How can you make 7 even? Bonus points if you know the answer, and don't cheat and look it up. See you in class.